Hey guys, good afternoon. Once again, it's so great to see your face. Now, unless you've been living underneath a rock this last week or so, you probably heard that Sony announced the A9 Mark II. Is it a Mark II? A9II. Anyways, over the last week, I've been seeing a lot of mixed feelings about this camera. So that's got me wondering what's new and what's not new about the A9II. Now, before we dive into the specifics, it's important to remember that Sony just released the A9, geez, 2.5 years ago, so it's not exactly an old camera. The new camera cycle for most other camera manufacturers is around 3 to 4 years, unless you're Pentax, and then that's about every 10 years. Okay, maybe not quite that much, but anyways, let's get to the nitty-gritty and see what's new, what's not, why some folks aren't really excited about Sony's latest flagship camera. So we're going to start off with what's not new. Let's begin with some of the major features the A9 and the A9II share in common. You're talking about a 24.2 megapixel stack sensor. You're talking about ISO that's starting at 100, it goes all the way up to 51,200, range and up to 204,800. Same 693 phase detection and 425 contrast detection autofocus points. 60 times per second autofocus calculations and real-time tracking on real-time eye autofocus, both on animals and humans. Now, we're sitting about 20 frames per second with AFA tracking and live view with no blackout. The electronic viewfinder, 3.69 million dots. The LCD screen on the back is 1.44 million. And it also has touch sensitivity as well. And up to 1/32 thousandths with electronic shutter. IBIS, though the A9 just has 5 EV, the A9 is good to 5.5, so you get about a half stop more on it. So yeah, no change in the resolution, electronic viewfinder, LCD, or other big areas. Now, what's new? Looking at the two cameras side by side, you might not notice much of a difference in these things. I mean, little changes. The A9II is slightly larger than the A9 and has the same larger grip from the A7R4, which is great for improved handling. A9II also benefits from improved dials and buttons. The A9 users will find that the A9II's buttons are thicker and in some, like the autofocus on button, are larger than what they used to be. The autofocus joystick has a new texture on it that improves tactile feedback, while the rear top dial is larger with more surface area for easier use. The original A9 could achieve 5 frames per second with using the mechanical shutter, but the A9II doubles that. There's a big one. Additionally, the shutter mechanics has a new design that features an internal damper which minimizes shutter vibration and noise. It's also been tested to durability up to 500,000 cycles. Okay, cool. Another interesting feature on the A9II is a anti-flicker shooting mode. Now, when enabled, the camera can detect flicker from fluorescence lights and adjust the exposure automatically. Now, note that this feature only works when shooting still photos with the mechanical shutter. A big improvement for the A9II is the addition of the real-time eye autofocus for video. Now, according to Sony, real-time eye autofocus detects subject's eyes and continues to track one eye, allowing the camera to maintain precise focus. The A9II is the only Sony camera to have this feature apart from the A7R4. Now, autofocus tracking, by the way, has been improved to be more accurate thanks to new algorithms that speed up performance. While both cameras feature dual SD card slots and the A9 only has one that's capable with UHS 2 cards, on the A9II both slots are compatible with these faster cards. Now, many folks wanted the Sony to ditch the UHS and opt for the CF Express slots, but that obviously didn't happen, so perhaps next round. There are a few other tweaks like improved weather sealing, gigabit Ethernet, a USB-C 3.2 port, and support for 5 GHz Wi-Fi. You can revoice voice memo overs, save your camera settings to a SD card, and transfer them to another camera. And there's a new processor that's even faster and takes less battery to operate, okay? But overall, the changes to the A9II will probably seem relatively minor to many photographers. Now, wrapping it up, would I consider this a major update from Sony? No, not really. The big sexy features like the sensor, autofocus system, and the video capabilities are the same. But when they are really this good, why change them? And the changes that were made were relatively small, though the real-time eye autofocus for video is a pretty big deal if you ask me. So, Sony has addressed a number of the areas on this camera that will make this an improvement over the previous A9, but it isn't an earth-shattering update like many Sony fans were hoping on. Sony has a history of making rapid improvements to the camera, so I understand why some people were expecting more out of the a9II and why they were disappointed with it. But at the end of the day, the a9II is still a badass camera. The question is it that much more badass than the A9 to justify spending the $1,000 more to get it? Probably not, but it isn't a heap of junk either. Well, there you go, folks. A little something about the a9II, a little round the block, a little discussion with regards to what's changed, what has not changed. If this has been helpful to you, hit the like button down below. If you're currently not subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button down below and don't forget to hit the bell to be notified as we have new videos come out. All right, my friend, we'll see you next time.